fellow Toastmasters. Our story, I got a good evening. Our story begins on the top of San Bernardino mountain range out in California in Big Bear Lake in the year 2000. Me and my buddy Chris lived in a cabin up there by the lake, and we were having a little cabin fever, no pun intended. And so we decided to get on out. So we were going to head out to see the Joshua Tree. We heard that if you just drive down the mountain on the back side, that's where the Mojave Desert is. So it's like, dude, you want to go? He's like, yeah, let's go and go. It's like, all right, let's go, man. So we hop in the car, we start cruising down the mountain. It's snowing up there. We're cruising down. First thing we spot is something peculiar. Out of the corner of my right eye, on the embankment, perched against a tree, and the embankment portion is a band. And we look over the edge, and it's a lady we know. She just sang last night at my coffee shop where I work. So strange. She's okay though. Totally odd. She would have went all the way down if the tree wouldn't have caught her. We cruise on down. We're driving down the mountain. We're just cruising. Get on down to the bottom, and we're looking for Joshua Tree. Now this is the time before the nice little Google device where you just like check the map and you're like, oh yeah, Joshua Tree, it's right over here, we're gonna go over there. We didn't have any of that. So we're looking on an old paper map, trying to figure it out, and I was like, dude, I see dirt over there. You wanna head that way? You think there's some cactus over there? Maybe we'll find the cactus over there? Yeah, let's go. All right, cool. Let's go that way. So we just start cruising. We're driving over there. When we get out there, we're driving along the desert, and there's like little campfires with RVs, motorcycles, little dune buggies coming out and stuff and doing all kinds of circles and, like four-wheeler tracks everywhere. And I'm from Texas, and as y'all know, all the land is owned here. You can pay to get into a park, or you're on somebody's land and you're going to get shot. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on out here? I was like, all these people are just like out here partying, having a good time. I was like, man, you just want to cruise around? We'll look for the trees out here. Yeah, this sounds great. Perfect, we're just driving. I'm driving in the Dodge Stealth, by the way. If you've ever seen a Dodge Stealth, this is basically a sports car. So we're in the sports car in the desert. And before long, you probably guessed it already, we got stuck. That's right. So there we are. My car's kind of tilted in the back end because we went a little too far. We are literally in the middle of nowhere. And so Chris gets out and he's like, man, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm like, man, don't worry about it. He's like, no, man, we're stuck. We're stuck, man. We're messed up. Dude, we're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed. There's nothing out here. We're so far, we don't even know where we're at. I was like, don't worry about this, man. In Korea, we used to break down in our tanks, in the mud, in the mountains, and we just fix that stuff right there and pull it out. No problem, buddy. So what I started doing? I started digging out the sand from one wheel, the back rear wheel, up to the front wheel. I was just digging and digging and digging, and I got the best foundation I could. I hopped over to the other wheel. I was like, don't worry, man. Don't worry. I got this. And then he's like, okay, well, that's probably not going to work. I'm like, don't worry, man. I got more. Hold on. So I grabbed twigs and branches and I started breaking them, and I built this little track on both wheels, all the way up to the front wheel. And then in the front, I had rails going all the way out, basically like little track rails that I had built. And so he gets behind the car, and I'm like, all right, I hop in the driver's seat. And I yell out the window, I'm like, we got one shot at this, buddy. And he's like, all right. He's standing there in the back, and I drop it into gear, and I floor it, and he's pushing, and I just start knocking over bushes, and going and going and going, and he's way back there. And I mean, the bushes were like 3, 4, 5 feet high. I was just going anywhere. I was just going. And finally, I got to safe ground where we were back on the road. And I get up on top of the car because I'm so far away, because we were really far out there. I can see Chris, he's got sand all over him and dirt and everything like that, because I just spun those tires up and got them really dirty. It was awesome. It was great. So, at that point, like smart people, we decided to exit the desert. Good thinking, right? We're like, all right, driving a sports car, we got stuck, time to leave. So we're leaving, and we haven't found Joshua's tree. We kind of talked about that a little bit. That's okay. found adventure. And as we're cruising back up the mountain, which is really this winding road, and there's no guardrail, which is the same reason why the lady flew off the side of the road, so that the snowplows can just push the snow straight off the side. And which I didn't know that when I was driving. I first moved there. I was like, dude, there's no guardrails. And they were like, yeah, you know, they can't push the snow off. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways, so I'm driving back over. I was scared. It's snowing. So snowing, go down, desert, sun, come back up, and it's snowing really, really bad at this point. And of course, we're in the Dodge Stealth. It isn't built for this. People are pulling over the side of the road. Do we have chains? Of course not. We don't have anything. I got twigs. That's what I carry. Twigs and matches and stuff like that. Maybe 2 rocks. I got it. I got it. I got it. We're going to get there. So I'm driving, and I'm like, listen, we can do this. We can do this. And he's like, oh man. I'm like, unbuckle your seatbelt. He's like, what? And I'm like, look, if we fly off the side of the mountain, you got to jump. Now I repeated this over and over as we followed the next car's tracks. And I just followed the tracks in low gear. Because there was a couple big trucks, you know, that were going in front of us. And I kept saying that. I was like, remember buddy, if we go over, just jump. Just grab anything, grab a tree. You'll probably hit a tree on the way down. You won't go all the way down the mountain. I had my belt off too. I was like, I had my hand on the door, ready to jump. So anyways, I had a feeling that if we would have stopped, that we would have been snowed in, and I didn't know how far I don't know if we would have made it anyway, you know, been able to go anywhere. So we get back safe and sound, back to Big Bear Lake. We make it. And the thing is that we didn't find the tree, but we were having cabin fever. And we stepped outside the door to go out and get an adventure, to find something, to do something different, instead of just staying inside. And that's really where these adventures in life kind of come from. Things don't always act out as predicted. Like, oh, we're going to go see Joshua Tree and cruise on down. And, whoa, there's Joshua Tree. And turn around and leave. It wasn't like that. And it never happens like that. So it was a wonderful experience. I got many more crazy stories like that. There's actually a lot more to that story. And there's one for next week as well. The one that we did to the Golden Gate Bridge. Sometimes you got to step outside and really just go for it. We might not have found Joshua's tree, but we found something after all.